Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena in the city for this much anticipated clash between the New South Wales Swifts and the undefeated Melbourne Vixens. Let's have a reminder of how these sides will line up with their Woolworths team cards. Starting with the New South Wales Swifts, a huge omission there. No co-captain in Maddie Proud. That means the young 19-year-old Grace White, though, will fill the void, and it'll be Gorman Brown that starts in wing attack for the New South Wales Swifts.
Well, and you have a look at the Vixens lineup. No Zara Walters again this week, so Mundy gets that start in the wing attack, and she's doing a fantastic job so far. Eddie Weston-Mannix absolutely crushing it in the defence end.
And they're already at each other. Paige Hadley ball in hand now, though, and we're moments away. There's the first whistle. Lily Gorman Brown, her first touch. Well, is that a sign?
Oh, yeah, that's not a good start. I think, just a little bit of pepper on it, not allowing the space. But look at Vixens just flying down court really quick. Has to be quicker from the Swifts to turn around on that.
Lightning speed coming from the Melbourne Vixens. Well, they've broken the Swifts. The centre pass to follow so they can get a good start here. And as we mentioned in the opener, have not lost a first quarter, the Melbourne Vixens.
Where you are.
Well, both shooters now on the board too, so a little settler. Gorman Brown, Housby, secure with that one. Back to Turner, Gorman Brown, well, she's touching the ball a lot early days here.
And again, we spoke about pre-game, Housby sitting in that little space just off the circle. It doesn't allow the middies to come through and take the top of the circle space, so she almost needs to get a little bit further out and play them onto the circle.
Housby not prepared to shoot it from too far, wants to work herself into the game. Sam Wallace, the first one for the New South Wales Swifts. There she is, Helen Housby. Big, big game wanted from her. Mundy, back to Weston, Austin. Mundy, how good has she been? Well, the pick up, the hands coming from Turner. Ali Smith picks up the crumbs.
Oh, and look at that defence. You could just see that Eddie decided to go and have a bit of a fly. Have a look at this replay. Yeah, a little tip from Turner coming out off the body. But just the work from Vixens to just see to go and have a crack at something long.
Well, worth having a go too. Did get penalised here. Turner for offside, Ali Smith for offside. But all those early challenges really start to create some doubt and make the Vixens second guess. And if you can slow down that attack line, well, that's a win.
Swifts.
Here it is, the contested ball. Smith had a good crack at it. There she is again, Ali Smith, Gorman Brown, the drive across. Back to Smith, Gorman Brown. Well, Hadley screaming for the ball. It's crowded, isn't it?
Well, look at the box that they're set up here, and it's all moving. You can see how hard it is for the Swifts to get it down there. There's almost 10 passes before it gets to circle, whereas the Vixens are almost 3 or 4 passes and in.
Vixens have the superior centre pass to goal rate. Actually, apologies, the Swifts do. 71.5% they're sitting at. Sophie Garvin a little bit further away from her, and it's a good one. So the 2 goal shooters taking the load. Helen Housby yet to put up a shot in this game.
And we'll just have a look at Weston on her, just for the next play. She's just sticking as close as she can with her, not worrying about anything else.
Oh, here she is, Helen Housby. She's going to take one, get the settler, and get on with the big 60 minutes. It dribbles in, but it's in.
A good one for her to get on the board early. I mean, it's been 3.5 minutes, but 1 from 1. She only needs 2 more to beat her last week's
well,
score.
Isn't that saying something? Austin. She was good in regular time, didn't miss Helen Housby. It was all about the super shots. 0 from 4 last week. That's a good ball. Get some good depth. Wallace Joseph. Hadley.
Yeah, that ball needs to go earlier, I think. A crowd would have given that a little bit earlier. You can see Sammy Wallace is demanding ball. When she's demanding it, you have to give it.
Eddie, Austin, Mundy, oh, just enough on it. And Ellie Smith is right there, isn't she?
It was a change of pace from Mundy for me. She did a little skip step and then injected that speed and power. That was the only reason she got her hands onto that ball.
Housby, oh, that corner pocket happening quite a bit here. At what point is Mannix going to recognise that and maybe have a fly?
Well, she's looking. You can certainly see the movement. She's definitely having a sniff at it.
One the difference, the Melbourne Vixens and the New South Wales Swifts. A reminder, they're playing for the Sargeant-McKinnis Cup. That will be decided across the 2 games they meet each other this season. And it was the New South Wales Swifts that won both of the games last year. So are the holders, Sarah Clow.
Fantastic intercept from Sarah Clow, and this is definitely one that the Swifts will want to just nail, getting the ball down and getting the ball through the ring. Again, just watch Weston and Housby. It is body on the whole time.
Well, it's an exhausting game for both of them to play, isn't it? Prime example of it right there. And I feel like Joe Weston would be quite happy to give away those early penalties, do you think, Kim?
Yeah, absolutely, because it exhausts the player. And then I think for Housby, it's just a matter of using her prelims and just keeping it a bit shorter. She actually ran that line from the opposite side of the top of the circle to get to the other side of the court. And there was no change of direction. Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. Bit of a clash of the faces, and then Clow through with that ball.
Oh, well, from this angle, and clearly from the angle of the whole crowd, it looked like a little shove in the back, but play continues. Maybe Sammy Wallace just got to take it stronger. Got to expect those contacts, those knocks, that physicality to come.
Swift's doing a better job of bottling up the Vixens now in transition. You can see the hands over work that's happening. There was almost 4 or 5 passes in the mid-third, and they're having to go back. Look at that. And they're playing a slide defence here. Anything that runs behind them, they're taking it on.
Oh, she'll get another shot at it, Sophie Garvin.
And I think what I'm seeing from both teams in terms of that defence, when they're able to implement a structure defensively and really play it out, that's when they're putting that pressure on and it's forcing the attack end to slow their play down.
Obstruction, we attack.
Weston. Maloney over to Garvin out of the circle. So she's prepared to come out, do a bit of that playmaking. Quickly back in though with the double play and into the sweet spot under the post. To the difference. Gorman Brown, Hadley. Gorman Brown, well, not getting much depth here. They do now. Gorman Brown been in that pocket a bit, Kim.
Yeah, she has. And I think the lead there is okay as long as everyone recognises around her that the pass may not be on. Mannix is getting lots of tips and touches down this end.
Dylan Nexip, I'm going to bring you in on that one. From behind and clean. That is not easy to do.
Oh, it's absolutely not. Your timing has to be perfect to make sure that you get that arm over without hitting those arms. I don't think that ball was on in that 2-on-1 situation. What Mannix is going to do a great job of now is putting that doubt in the minds of the feeders around. So Swifts just need to tidy that up a little bit.
Oh, another tip, and this time it's Paige Hadley outside the circle. The pick up to Sarah Clow through the hands. You don't see that often from the captain of the New South Wales Swifts. They slow it up a bit. Well, it was a forced ball at best, wasn't it? Double defended with Sophie Garvin.
Boney's contact centre.
Now she gets the good, strong one-on-one hold. Sophie Garvin, very hard to beat when she gets into that position.
It certainly is, and you know that she's just one of those stronger players that will take any ball, as Sam Wallace-Joseph down the other end. Very, very similar in the fact that you would have the confidence as a midi just to give it. So again, give it straight away. That's it.
Where you are.
And they got themselves into prime feeding position too then, the Melbourne Vixens, didn't they, on the circle edge. Have a look at that scoreline now. In the blink of an eye, it's out to 4. 45 seconds away from your first power 5 of the game. Housby, Gorman Brown. Back to Turner. Well, the tip this time from Kira Austin. Can't stay on side. Hadley.
And well played from Hadley. Just had a look at the feet to go, hey, hold on a second. What it does is also release a little bit of pressure. Oh,
yeah,
lucky.
unlucky. She read that well, didn't she, Kate Eddy? I thought the timing was good on that. Wallace-Joseph for the Swifts need this one. 3 the difference. And here's the Nissan net points powered by E-Power. Jo Weston sitting at the top. We talked about her a fair bit this opening quarter, doing a wealth of work. There was a siren for the power 5 too. Great one-on-one defence here from the New South Wales Swifts.
Yeah, I think both teams defensively are doing a really good job of creating some great opportunities for each other. I think it's now about the attackers using their fakes and trying to bring the defenders off the body to then see the placement of the pass.
If you are just joining us and wondering why the players are wearing purple armbands, of course it is because netball is uniting to end violence against women. All the players and the umpires taking a stand, and will be wearing these purple armbands for the rest of the season. Of course, the purple representing domestic violence awareness. A fantastic initiative, and great to see all of netball behind it and supporting it. Wallace-Joseph will in that one-on-one you mentioned before too, Kim. Hard to beat, but they don't want it there.
This is where they want it, right here, right now with Housby. I mean, the human backpack on that one.
Oh, it's the first Suncorp super shot of the game. Helen Housby, can she nail it? That'll get the confidence up. She does. That's the Helen Housby we know and love, and gets the Swifts back to 2. Garvin up the middle. Maloney. Oh, Sarah Clow, she came out straight into that arc. Sophie Garvin.
Oh,
That's good. It looked a little flat off the hand.
it did, but gosh, that was a good shot. Good timing of it as well. Just a quick little stat for you, Kath. At the moment, the Swifts on their centre passes, Lily Gorman-Brown has 9 to her name, Helen Housby 1. So there's a clear conversation as to who is getting that first phase and then what's happening on the second.
Well, the other people that will be noticing that trend, though, are the Melbourne Vixens, and I'd imagine that'll be a discussion point at quarter time. Can't become predictable. Housby, can she sink another? Wow, she's got the radar well and truly back already, Helen Housby. 2 from 2. Still number 1 in the league for Suncorp super shots. Before this game, 22 from 29 at 76%. All the way back to the transverse line goes Maloney. Austin, Maloney.
Goalkeeper contact, step up.
Well, Sophie Garvin fancies herself from that distance today as well. Another Suncorp super shot to her. Garvin only 38% from that distance this season. Hadley. Housby. Well, she'll want to get in the circle, won't she? And a good opportunity to do it is with Jo Weston standing outside and penalised.
Oh, nice setup there on that one. That was certainly a play that they had discussed.
Helen Housby, 3 from 3. A reminder, last week sat at 0 from 4 super shots. Have a look at those stats now for Helen Housby. Big game coming from the English Rose. Sarah Clow turns up the heat defensively.
Here she goes again.
Oh, dribbles out, Sarah Clow, the tip back in to her teammate in Maddie Turner. Back to Clow. Turner up the middle. Lily Gorman-Brown. Housby. Gorman-Brown. Housby again. A little double-double between the two.
Step back beside her. That's it.
And those penalties take the wind out of the sails for the Vixens a bit, don't they, in defence?
It does, but it is just the smarts of Hadley at the moment. She's drawing those penalties. So for the Maloney and the Kate Eddies that have played for a long time now, they need to just come off the body, maybe try a different structure.
New South Wales Swifts were down by as much as 4. They can take the lead here with a Suncorp super shot right before the end of this first quarter. They've got to be quick though. Running out of time. They got to pull it in first. No, it's a replay ball. Sam Wallace, I think she shot it before she'd even caught it. Well, there it is, the end of the first quarter. And the Melbourne Vixens keep that first quarter success alive by taking it just the 1 point as they lead 15-14. Maloney. Garvin out of the circle. Very mobile in this game, this shooting circle. Mundy, Austin, well, Garvin.
Oh, look at the movement from the Swifts defenders. Gosh, that's good. And that's how it works. You do the hard yards and someone else picks up and reaps the rewards.
You're absolutely right there, Kim. And what I've noticed a difference in this Swift defence, early in the game, the Vixens were able to hit circle edge after the third ball. Now they're not able to do that, meaning they have to play the ball around a little bit more, and the Swifts are able to come through to get that ball.
Ideally, Dill, when you're defending in the circle, how many passes is the right amount for you to go and have a look at something?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's an exact amount in terms of the right amount, but if they can get a 1, 2, 3 and hit circle edge, it's really hard to stop, particularly when it's done at pace. So any more than that, you force them back, and then once they go back, they have to potentially lift that ball somewhere, and that's the one you go and have a crack at.
So there you go, there's a little insight into Dylan Nexit. Once that ball goes back, he gets a smile on his face. Done somewhat of the job. The New South Wales Swifts have got themselves to level. Housby had to push past the arm of Joe Weston. Oh, Gorman-Brown, yeah. I was about to say, surely that's out of court.
And Kath, you were talking about that right-hand pocketing in quarter one. Again, wide and deep in that right-hand pocket.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that stat on the centre pass too that you mentioned in that first quarter, Kim. That was Lily Gorman-Brown taking almost 90% of the centre passes. Mundy to Garvin. Well, Mundy gets in prime feeding position at the top of the circle, and how's that ball whipped in? 2 hands from shoulder high.
Crossbody.
Woo!
And that's a hard one to give because the defender is generally in the line of that ball, so it has to be pinpoint.
Great shooting accuracy for the Melbourne Vixens, just the 1 miss. Sophie Garvin, Suncorp super shot. Turner to Housby. Hadley. Wallace Joseph, the little 1-2. They'll pull a penalty. Now what will they do? Well, it's Housby that floats in, takes that front position. And Mannix. The hand speed.
It is. It's like a cat with its
Like
toy.
a tiger.
Yeah. It's so quick.
Yeah, it's getting in there really quickly, isn't she? Right when that ball's released, the timing exceptional.
Have a look here. Gets the swipe. With a bit of a Sammy Wallace hit to the head as well.
Yeah, beautiful high ball. Too much on it though. Sophie Garvin did extremely well to keep that in. Maloney. Yeah, Austin. Well, 2 very clever short passes via the floorboards to keep defenders' arms out of the contest.
It sure is, but that is hard work as a shooter to continuously have to get down for a ball and then have to shoot. So I don't think either attacking team has figured out how to monster these 2 defensive groups at the moment. Defense is winning the game right now.
I agree with you there, Kim Green. really liking when Sarah Cloud's coming out with Sophie Garvin and not allowing that release ball. And the work that M. Mannix is doing to get front is also slowing that ball down into there. So the work of the goalkeepers at the moment is great.
Well, apart from that occasion when both of the Vixens defenders found themselves on the floor, you can see the Swifts attack end's eyes light up.
Well, Swift's gone from a wall into a box here. Ali Smith had a crack, so everyone has to get back onto one-on-one really quickly for the Swifts.
Garvin sets herself up in that one-on-one. Easy target. 11 from 11. Sophie Garvin, the 15 you see on the screen there is because of the Suncorp super shot she scored as well. Sam Wallace, Joseph, out and about of the circle, doing a little bit of movement.
I think she's getting frustrated that the ball is not coming down quick enough, because right then there was not one Swift in the circle, or really high, almost at the transverse line. So it's either the middies need to call a closed circle, get in the circle, the shooters, and the middies bring it down, or do a positional switch. Wallace out, Housby has to get back in.
Dylan, I'll ask you about that. If you're playing on a goal shooter that typically doesn't come out of the circle and starts to, are you in your head thinking, I've got this, I've won that battle?
Oh, absolutely. You force them to change what they're doing. You force them to take out of their comfort zone. So you're definitely getting a step ahead of them. It was really interesting when you were talking about that. Bryony Akel was up in the coach's box and she was yelling at Paige to drive down. So she's recognised that too, and I think that's why those shooters are coming out.
Well, not forgetting Sophie Fawns is on the bench for the New South Wales Swifts, injected regularly for this side. There's the head coach of the Swifts, Bryony Akel, keeping a very close eye on things as the New South Wales Swifts stay within one. There's Sophie Fawns. It was brilliant for them last week when she had to come on. 8 from 10 Suncorp super shots in round 4 for Sophie Fawns through the hands of the captain, Kate Maloney.
And that was a great lead from Maloney. Just the placement was just too hard and strong. Put a little bit of height on that, on the circle edge.
Well, there's Wallace Joseph, a long way out of the circle again.
But Housby is under the post, so clearly they've changed that up a bit, recognised that Housby needed to get down deeper quicker. So they are trying different things, but you have to be all on the same page.
Oh, there she's back in the sweet spot. There's the pass over the top and wasn't well placed, which meant Joe Weston could get quite a big piece of it. Oh, Joe Weston being a serial pest early days in this game. Well, that's her role, isn't it?
I mean, I feel like that goes hand in hand with her name. It's exactly what she is. All for the right reasons.
Swing across the circle to Hadley. Housby opens up. Continue to go to the post. Helen Housby still hasn't missed. What a start to this game. 5 from 5 regular time, 3 from 3 super shots for Housby. Have a look at this last 10. Starting to get interesting. That's why the Swifts now finding themselves in front by 1. Oh, cheeky. Out of the hand, Paige Hadley.
And look at the transition from the Swifts. It's 3 passes and they're on the top of the circle. Now they just need to get Sammy Wallace-Joseph on the one-on-one. Give that ball, get it into space.
M. Mannix is having a field day. Is it the placement of the pass, or is M. Mannix just that good this season?
I think it's a combination of both. Here, have a look at this replay. It's just a little hand in from Hadley. Garvin looking to the umpire, but those moments you just have to get on with. And we've seen lots of hands in balls in the moment of this game. Players have to be stronger on the hands, knowing that that's being allowed at the moment.
Well, HCF tactical timeout to the Melbourne Vixens. Let's have a listen to Sargeant-McKinnis.
So it's just be aware, like we're all fighting to get over on that centre pass, on that wall on the centre pass. So we still just want the one, not both fighting. We need to have the strong option back. But down in that goal third, there's got to be that punch through it. Someone else is feeling and driving, even if you have to come back. So at the moment we're sitting. If we're not used, work again. Punch through. Someone comes through. And just be prepared to work it. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Keep on that circle. Let's go to the next space. No, you're right. We have to say contest go. It's a good contest. Should we do a change up for a couple of minutes? I reckon have a change up. I reckon we've got 6
No one stands still. We lift the work rate for this last hit. Here we go. Vix on 3. 1, 2, 3, Vix.
Well, there it is. Sargeant-McKinnis with very strong messaging. Centre pass setups for the attack. Not two fighting to get over the line. One being punched and punched through, the other one just being an option if needed. And they need multiple efforts in attack. They're all sitting wide, and that is because of the box that the Swifts are putting on.
Yeah, the Vixens centre pass to goal rate sitting at 68%. Oh, and Mannix again, and it's forced the fumble through the hands of Helen Housby. She got spooked. Job done, Melbourne Vixens.
Interesting, that's what Housby was talking about. She was saying that she was free over in that pocket and that they need to put that ball down there a little bit earlier to her. So they did that, but M. Mannix read it like a book.
Sarah Cloud at the circle, so a 2-on-1. This should be easy pickings for the Melbourne Vixens. Off the hand of Kira Austin. And hasn't missed in regular time either. 5 from 5 for Austin. 1 the difference. Just under 2 minutes until we hit the second power 5 of this game. Garvin.
Yeah, you know, Sargeant-McKinnis talked about only one being over the line. They had a positional switch, and Austin actually started in the circle on that centre pass. So completely taking on board what the coach wanted, and look at them getting it down nice and easy.
Well, you could just see Austin's face then. She had to almost move her head around the arms of Sarah Clow as you miss net points powered by E-Power. Hadley, miles in front of the next.
Yeah, and she's just quietly going about her business, isn't she? She certainly has had to step up in the absence of Proud, so 19 feeds to her name for 9 goal assists. She's got 1 intercept to her name, 1 of the 3 that the Swifts have, so doing plenty in defence too.
That is what a great leader and a great player does though, isn't it? They recognise when they really have to step up, and I think we're seeing that also from Helen Housby tonight. Won the difference. Oh, that is a great second phase, isn't it? Mundy right on the edge of the circle, and the ball speed coming now from the Melbourne Vixens. Kira Austin makes it 5 from 5. 6 from 6, apologies. Level. There's those goal assists you were talking about. And Hannah Mundy, well, again, in the absence of one of the players, and that's Zara Walters for the Melbourne Vixens, making the most of that opportunity. Housby wants to keep that distance for another 10 seconds time. Or can they work it around that long? Oh.
Yeah, it was. It was the push. The arms came up from Sam Wallace-Joseph. Love to see a replay on that, but the arms coming up naturally looks like you're pushing off regardless if you do or you don't. So let's have a look here. She turns for the screen to open up.
Yeah, almost the forward movement into the player, wasn't it?
But again, we always get taught as players not to have your arms up. Look at those penalties. 17 to the Swifts, 30 to the Vixens.
Which is actually outstanding because the New South Wales Swifts are the first for contact penalties, and they are miles in front of the next, which is the 21 ahead of the next. And to be down there at 15 for them is a fantastic defensive effort.
And it just means that they're in the game, or it means that they're not. But have a looking at the scoreboard, they're well in the game and they're reading it well.
Yep, playing it cleanly, keeping themselves in the contest. Mundy pushes through. Garvin swings to Maloney.
I was going to say that's a better pass on that swing.
Well, Kira Austin cleaned it up, doesn't want to shoot it. A couple of opportunities. She could have gone the super shot. Garvin will take the 1.
And in the back of play, we have Sophie Fawns coming on into goal shooter, just in time for the super shot period.
Well, they might have their hand forced here a little, the New South Wales Swifts, as they find themselves down by 3. That is a great ball from Hadley to Housby. Right on the edge of the arc, misses her first one. Helen Housby.
Where you are.
Sophie Fawns. First shot is a good one.
Oh, nice move from Mundy, that depth on the third phase. And that was a set play, straight back to Maloney on the second.
Sophie Garvin's been good from that distance, and she wants the ball there again. It'll be Kira Austin, though, over the long arms of Maddie Turner.
Gosh, she's got a nice shot.
Another Suncorp super shot makes it interesting for the difference. Have a look at those super shots from the Melbourne Vixens. 4 from 5.
And gosh, that should, you know, that's a lot of confidence going into this period just to keep going to post.
Well, they just got to get the ball in the circle up the other end. The defence coming from the Melbourne Vixens here.
Yeah, this is the box setup. Look how wide all the Swifts are sitting outside of every Vixens player. Great patience just to get Fawns into that position right there.
She was brilliant last week, wasn't she, on the super shot? Sophie Fawns, 8 from 10. She's brought that same form into round 5. 2 the difference, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half. Mundy, well, the challenge came from Clow. You can see Sophie Garvin then almost a bit perplexed about what to do. I'm in the middle of the circle. Not under the post, I'm not in the white arc. Well, now they find themselves in good shooting range. Gives himself a 3-goal buffer. And there's the Vixens shooting. They're really liking that right-hand side of the post. Gorman Brown waits for someone. It's Fawns up the middle, Housby. Back to Fawns. Good moments ago, she got another one in her, Sophie Fawns, she doesn't. And the rebound, well, she cleans it up. Lily Gorman-Brown, Hadley, Housby to Hadley.
Contact, wing defence, outside the circle.
Yeah, lucky there, Housby looked like she was almost trying to just push her way through the circle, didn't she?
Well, I think that might be a clear tactic from the Vixens to try and keep Housby. It doesn't matter if she's your player or not. Try and keep her out of the circle because of the amount of work that she does and meet her off the circle edge.
Sophie Fawns, another Suncorp super shot. Can Sophie Garvin up the other end respond for the Melbourne Vixens? She does. 25 seconds remaining. The Melbourne Vixens up by 3.
Contact, goal attack.
Housby. Straight into the hot hand of Sophie Fawns. The step back. This will be a monster if she can drain it.
Well, they talked about rebounds during the pre-game. And that's exactly what Fawns just did there, getting amongst it.
Won the difference right there on the siren, or making for a very interesting second half of netball. The first quarter, it was the Vixens by 1. The second quarter, 16 apiece. Well, this is how beautifully matched up these two sides are. They're head-to-head, 15 games played, 7 apiece, and 1 draw. It is the Vixens up by 1 as Kate Maloney gets us underway in the second half. And it feels like a no-brainer to say it. Not much separating them at the moment here, Kim. How does one team break away from the other here, and who's going to do it?
Well, interestingly, we haven't seen the Swifts make too many changes, which is what we're used to. You see that they've started back with their starting lineup, and there's been no changes for the Vixens. So it's either they're wanting them just to give a little bit more, or quickly you'll see the Swifts change it up.
Well, speaking of changing up, we can head down courtside now to the boss of the New South Wales Swifts, the head coach, Bryony Akel. Bry, this game, always such a great matchup. You're probably not surprised by the margin where it sits at the moment. Are you happy with what you've seen from your team in the opening half?
Yeah, absolutely. We know what Vixens can do. They're a brilliant side, and I think it's going to go down to the wire.
And Bri Hadley sitting at 76 Nissan net points at the moment, 23 feeds to her name. Is she taking a lot of the load that Proud, you know, because Proud's are not out there, is she taking a lot more of that load?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she finds that, you know, she leads by doing, and she's certainly doing that today.
And Bri, what are you hoping to see more of from the team in the second half?
Yeah, I think our defensive pressure's been really good, and I'd like to see that continue. And just also just being an option in attack and keeping it basic and lower the turnover rate.
Thanks, Bryony. We'll leave you to it. All the best in the second half.
Thanks, guys.
Just like that, to the difference, the Melbourne Vixens.
Well, we see Wallace out. Wallace Joseph just coming out of the circle, providing some more attacking structure for the Swifts.
Helen Housby has not missed in regular time. Austin, wow, she swings it straight down the middle of the court to Sophie Garvin, gets it back now, dribbles out, but Garvin strong in the air. One of the best standing jumps in terms of elevation in the competition, Sophie Garvin. Oh, well, a miscommunication. Gorman Brown was there, but retreated at the last minute.
Yeah, Hadley just saying to her, keep going on that one, take it on and have the confidence to take it. But it just goes to show how high the Swifts are sitting on that one. No other option.
Kate Maloney, Mundy. Oh.
Contact on defence.
Yeah, I felt like that was going to go through the hands of Sophie Garvin anyway. She was fully on stretch, maybe a little unlucky there from Maddie Turner.
It's the right option, and it's a great angle as a midi to be able to place that one. And it's just that little bit of height to drop to place them, you know, right on that the baseline.
Quick 1-2, Austin and Weston now. Maloney,
Contact wing defence.
Austin, Maloney again, double-double. Looking very smooth since they've come back on court, the Melbourne Vixens here to start this third quarter. Here's an interesting stat for you to keep an eye on, everyone, in this third quarter. The New South Wales Swifts have not won a third quarter. The Melbourne Vixens have only won one third quarter. So this premiership quarter, as they call it, is eluding both of these sides to a degree. Who can take this one? Hadley, Housby tries to get it straight to Wallace Joseph, can't. Well, great ball from Hadley through two defensive players and via the floorboards.
We have had so many bounce passes in this game, which is a real risk in itself. You know, as a coach, you always say you have to have your bounce pass license before you're allowed to do that. And right now, they're definitely nailing them. But gosh, that must be scary as a coach to watch.
I remember Australian coach Norma Plummer always on about the bounce passes.
Hey, Plum. Shout out to Plum.
For the difference. Housby. What have you made of Lily Gorman-Brown's game? Big shoes to fill, but she's been solid.
Yeah, she's been solid. I think she's providing the drives that they need. However, at certain times there needs to be that shorten up and the punch back. As we've mentioned, Hadley's doing a lot of work in that mid-court, especially on the feeds. So I'd love to see her involved in being able to feed the ball a little bit more, getting herself on circle edge, and allowing Hadley to do her role a little bit more in filling and feeding.
The issue for the New South Wales Swifts is they really don't have any other option, do they? They've brought Grace White in, but she's a goal attack. She's not really a mid-court, so what do they do if it doesn't work?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think Grace White has been touches of wing attack here and there, but certainly at this level probably wouldn't want to be thrown into that position. But yeah, look, I think from there you just have to be able to find a way. And the only other thing I can think of is Smith going into the centre and Hadley into the wing attack.
Well, all too easy there, as you saw a couple of the New South Wales Swifts have a shot at the ball out in front. And given the margin is now out to 5, it is an HCF tactical timeout to the New South Wales Swifts. Bryony Akel wants to stem this flow. Let's get down and have a listen.
You're going to wing defence, you're coming out to goal defence, you're going to keeper. Okay. Guys, our centre passes, you're putting yourselves under pressure by everything is wide. And then second base is what? Wide. Okay, so we need to get ball over middle, Lil. You pass off, your job is to go again and go again. Don't look for anyone else to come. If you clear out, that makes space for somebody else. But if you dance in the one spot, there's no space. All right, so that's all we need to do. What else can we do on that centre pass? Maybe you're going to go first, you get depth second, but go there to come back. Sammy, great job reading that. Great job. Hands in.
To try and get a middle.
Let's go. Guys, we've spoken all week about our third quarter. You've got to do it's hard work. Get in touch point in D, simple things in attack. Second and third efforts, be an option to give and go.
Come on, guys. We don't have a choice here. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Sweat. Do that more.
Just heard Bryony Akel say they've spoken all week about this third quarter, so they know it's the blimp on the radar. Haven't been able to win one yet. Interesting, isn't it? What is it about the quarter after the big break? Is it because they're not coming out warm enough? They're not coming out focused? Why is it the third quarter would be the one eluding them, do you think?
It's always harder coming out after a half time and having that little bit of a break, certainly. And you know, you have time to think individually as to what you've done and what you need to do now. So yeah, it can take a little bit of the edge off as opposed to the other quarters, but really, I don't know.
Yeah.
As
It's
a
a
player,
tough one.
it's a tough one. Put your finger on.
Professional athletes. Let's get down to Dylan next. Not only was he listening to the other huddle, but Dylan, talk us through the defence change for the New South Wales Swifts in that timeout as well. Why do you think that's happened?
Yeah, we can see Temu come on with Cloud going out and Turner there. Maybe they're looking for a little bit of a change out there in terms of that hide out the front. Wasn't expecting that change, but I'm sure Bryony Akel has a plan in mind. In terms of the Vixens shot, they were obviously quite positive. Sargeant-McKinnis was really happy with the ball speed that was being used, and they felt like that was getting the defence line out of position. So maybe that's why Bryony's been able to make that change.
Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? If Sargeant-McKinnis is liking it, clearly Bryony Akel isn't going to.
Great goal defence.
Kira Austin forcing through on the centre pass, needs something. Well, look at the New South Wales Swifts really clogging that middle space, forcing the Vixens wide here.
Well, and that's exactly what Temu wants. That's how she plays naturally as a New Zealander. She wants to go and have a fly. So setting up that box, pushing everyone wide.
Obstruction inside the circle.
Oh, she's just getting pulled for obstruction then, so Austin will take it.
Moving off wing defence.
Well, it's a much better matchup, isn't it, Temu, on Sophie Garvin in terms of just height and strength. And we'll see if Sophie Garvin can keep up where she's been at the start of the game, sitting on 23 from 24.
We've had a change in players with Fawns coming on in that goal attack position for Housby. And interestingly, hearing Bryony Akel speak at that timeout was that she wanted Gorman Brown to just keep giving different options in the way that she's leading, multiple options. So keep an eye on that one on the centre pass, because she did want a bit of a change up with the goal attack going for first base.
5 the difference. The Melbourne Vixens have put their foot down. They're winning this quarter 9-6. Garvin to Mundy. Back to Garvin, over to Maloney. Oh, Kira Austin. How good was that footwork to get around Clow and through the smallest of gaps on the baseline?
She's one of the best magicians at being able to get through that baseline corridor.
Well, Cara Conan, the only other one I can think of that nails that.
Yeah, that was a great setup from the Vixens. You could see that box set up again. It's really troubling the Swifts. Bryony asked for her players to drive through. No one's driving through at the moment. They're all just sitting on the outside. She'll be disappointed in that play.
Well, they're both playing the box on each other defensively at the moment, aren't they?
Well, you'll get a good look at it here now again. Just all sitting through that middle channel, but you can't release that. That ball right there to Kira Austin. You need to be able to clamp down on that one, because then you want it to go wide.
Buddy contact centre.
Miscommunication between Temu and Cloud, then both on the same player, leaves Garvin by herself. 7 the difference. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Swifts tactical timeout if the Vixens score here. What else has Bryony Akel got up her sleeve? Maloney, Mundy, Garvin,
Yeah,
quick
look at
hands.
the ball movement of that is exactly how you set up something like the defence confusion. You need to be able to just keep moving it, creating different angles.
Confusion is right. That's now 2 times that both of the Swift defenders have ended up on the same shooter. As you can see, the Nissan net points there. Paige Hadley still sitting at the top. Mountain of work coming from her today. In absence of the co-captain, Maddie Proud, Sophie Fawns. What can she do in 33 seconds to get this Swifts margin a little closer?
And I think what the Vixens are doing a really good job of, and Kira Austin talked about it at halftime, was that turnover. And they haven't relinquished one ball this whole quarter. They're sitting at 0 turnovers for nearly 10 minutes of netball, which is exceptional, and only 5 general play turnovers for the whole entire game. So continue to watch that stat and how they're just cherishing that possession.
We'll add that to the incredible shooting percentage that they've got on show for us today, and the gains coming.
And we have Grace White on for her debut, so congratulations to her coming on in that wing attack position.
In that wing attack position that I said, oh my goodness, she wouldn't want to be put into that position. Let's see how she goes.
What a moment for the 19-year-old from Tumut in the Riverina region. Was part of the Swifts program last year as a training partner and played a big part of the Team Girls Cup pre-season with the Swifts this year. And she'd love to have some impact early, wouldn't she?
How
There she is.
exciting. And you can see just behind her, Housby's getting set up to come on in that goal attack position, so that leadership on the line is going to be important.
Stands at 181 centimetres, so that's some good height to have in that mid-court for the New South Wales Swifts too. Garbutt. Siren has gone for the Power 5, the third of the game. There's Housby. Entered in the back of play. And interesting to keep an eye on Sophie Fawns too, has just swapped her bib over to goal shooter, so she may well have another sub, or confusion now coming for the Melbourne Vixens.
Yeah, no one quite onto it from the Vixens. Swifties also just standing there. Good first touch there for Grace White.
The two long distance shooters on the court for the New South Wales Swifts, and they need them. 9 points to come back. Can happen very quickly. Helen Housby, 4 from 5 from this distance. Make that 5 from 6. Need more of it. The centre pass to follow for the New South Wales Swifts. Well, this is how quickly they can potentially close the gap with the super shot. Hadley.
Again, Housby just sitting in that mid-court space. Get out of there. Allow the middies to do the job.
Well, that's what happens. It gets crowded, doesn't it?
It does. And then everyone's trying to do too much work. You just have to know your role within it.
Offside call, so Paige Hadley's made up a bit of ground. Sophie Fawns, 2 from 4 from distance as well. Doesn't make the distance. Oh, through the hands of Eddie.
The ball must be slippery.
There's been a lot of uncharacteristic drops.
Yeah.
Spot on. We'll listen to the crowd. They've been sitting through nearly 45 minutes of niggle coming from Jo Weston, and that was about the end of it. Helen Housby, the best possible way to respond. 5 the difference. Well, I suppose no one's surprised by this HCF tactical timeout either. Simone McKinnis senses this Swifts comeback. Let's have a listen.
Wing defence and come out to goal defence.
Take this one, I'll go with him.
So again, it's just nice and steady route. Lights up, feet, lots of talk with them.
Yeah, it's just don't go chasing. Like stay sides, but one-on-one. Yeah. Sides. You know what I mean? Don't just sit in his face, but lots of talk. Sounds good. Let's go.
Discipline on the shot.
More, Mega. Hey, I need one Colin and Grace, you guys like the pace.
And let's keep having those give and go, so that from that back that we're giving up, we're driving again. We need that give and drive again, give and drive again.
Let's go, let's go. Yeah, go. Get into it. Let's make the turns bigger.
Oh yeah, let's do it. It's on 3. 1, 2, 3, 6.
Fired up, and there's a big change being made in that tactical timeout too. Rudy Ellis enters the game. Oh, look at the superstars in the house here. It's the New South Wales Blues Rugby League team. And they will be keeping a very close eye on this contest. And Kim Green, I believe you know one of the girls quite well.
Yeah, one of my personal trainers is up there, Gab Rose. Shout out to her. And all the best for next week, ladies, on Thursday night.
Well, I like this change for the Melbourne Vixens. Rudy Ellis has actually been good in minimal time this year. She's got 10 games for the season. And that means that M. Mannix has moved out to goal defence.
Well, I think they've done that to bring that height and the rangy arms out the front. And also putting Weston on Grace White. Now Grace White's going to know what it's all about when you've got someone like a human backpack of Joe Weston on you.
But I also can't see Kate Eddy on the bench, so I'm not sure if she's gone off somewhere to sit with the trainer or what's going on there, so I'll keep my eye on that.
Thank you, Dylan. Oh, Mannix. Straight back to Sophie Fawns. It could almost be an assist to Mannix. Five the difference. Can Housby sink this one? Add another to her name. She can. 7 from 8 Suncorp super shots to Helen Housby. And she's back, baby.
She's back. And that's exactly what we expected from her. She doesn't have 2 bad games. 7 super shots to her name, keeping the Swifties right in check with this team.
3 the difference here. So they score another 2. It's back to 1. And it could be their first third quarter win of the season. Housby sinks it. 1 the difference. Plenty of time for the Melbourne Vixens. How do they play this one out? Do they chew up the clock as much as possible, keep it away from the Swift scoring power?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They've done this plenty of times and they're just going to muck around a little bit.
As Paige Hadley gets put on a butt, the crowd don't like it. I don't think really anything in that. Garvin takes the 1 in lieu of probably no other option. Have a look here. Yeah, nothing in that contest. Fawns, White, Fawns again, Housby.
And look at her! She is up and about. Welcome back, Helen Housby.
Right on the buzzer. It's even here at Ken Rosewell Arena. Well, stay with us. A massive fourth quarter coming up. The New South Wales Swifts won the third quarter 17-15, and that's their first third quarter win of the season. Now, how do the Vixens respond? Well, Kim Green, how did they lose that third quarter is probably more the question. They looked like they were building nicely.
Yeah, well, we spoke about their lack of turnovers in that first half. They only had 5 to their name. In that quarter alone, they had 4, 2 to Mundy and 2 to Maloney. Now, we spoke about that wing attack position. If the Swifts were able to nail that, there wasn't much wiggle room. You have Barkmeyer, who's sitting on the bench, who's generally a goal attack who can play wing attack, or Austin has to come out. So, yeah, a bit dicey there. If the Swifts are able to just continue to put their foot down, they may be able to just continue that momentum as they go.
Well, that could be a predicament for the head coach, Sargeant-McKinnis. But 2 brilliant players that I'm sure can turn it around in Mundy and Maloney. Garvin goes looking for the ball. Cloud gets the tip. Well, you feel like the New South Wales Swifts, just as I say, have got momentum. It's off the head of Grace White. Well, in her first ever game of Suncorp Super Netball, she'll take a turnover any way she can get it.
Is that a tip?
I'd put that down as a tip, sure. Swing to the pocket taken by Mundy.
And Austin almost needs to make that drive a little bit harder and a bit quicker because none of the Swifts defenders are coming off if you're just floating in dead space.
Sophie Garvin still sitting at 93% shooting in regular time and doing the damage. There's your deflection. So saw Sarah Cloud get a couple of those tips at the end of that quarter and 1 just then. And your intercepts a bit more even. Austin.
Oh, good swing to the top. Yeah, that triangle just opens up the top for Garvin. A little bit more of that to create some sort of momentum. Have a look here. The Harvey Norman replay. Austin, and then straight into the face of Grace White.
Well, let's get down to Dylan, because Dylan, you mentioned moments ago that you couldn't see Kate Eddy on the bench. Have you got an update for us?
A little one. She's come back to the bench and she's got some strapping underneath her right knee. So I hope it's nothing too serious there. And it's just a little minor niggle or whatever it might be. And something I've never seen before is Rudy Allison wing defence. So I'm interested to see how that plays out this quarter too.
Well, it's pretty telling, isn't it? If Rudy Ellis is at wing defence, makes you think that Kate Eddy won't come back into this contest. Well, Sophie Garvin, that wasn't even close to going in. Dropped right short.
And she hasn't looked like that all day
No.
today.
Is that at all a concern?
Well, the Vixens still up by 3 here, so they still have that momentum on their side.
Well, look at the arms of Rudy Ellis. I mean, that's the reason she's out there in that wing defence position, wreaking havoc over the pass. Housby, she's feeling it. Even had one step in closer to Jo Weston then.
Yeah, she's here to play. We love that about Helen Housby. Oh, and Tamu having a look at it.
Helen Housby shooting stats more prolific from super shot territory. 8 from 8 regular time, 9 from 10. Super shots, Austin doesn't like the attention. Garvin. Keep that 3 goals. It's been a great start to this fourth quarter. 5-2. The Vixens lead it in the fourth. White to Fawns. There's your score breakdown. Really haven't been separated otherwise in this contest.
Contact outside the circle.
Classic rivalry between the Swifts and the Vixens.
That's delaying play, goal defence. You need to stand out and play properly. It's coming in here for an advance, and goal defence has already had an advance, so it's a warning.
It's a warning. There you go, Weston just not standing out of play. She has a little bit of a smile in the background. She won't want to get the umpire offside anymore because she could be sent off.
And Josh Barron was really clear then with his clarification, calling her for that idea of delaying play. So making sure that she is aware of what she's doing too, which is fantastic umpiring.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly when there's no cautions now and you've really got to be clear about why those calls are coming. Oh, I felt like I saw a very big step moments ago from Jo Weston. Went unnoticed. Helen Housby. Keep an eye on her when we get to the Power 5. She's sitting on 9 Suncorp super shots. Her record is 10. She's done that twice. And the way she's shooting at the moment, I feel like she's going to break that today, Kim Green.
I think she's up for it, that's for sure.
To the difference. Melbourne Vixens are not giving it up, are they? They've weathered a few storms from the New South Wales Swifts.
And that was a brilliant play from the Vixens. You could see that there was a positional switch of Garvin out, Austin on the hold, and a nice little place ball in.
Jo Weston. Well, she was stronger on the ball, wasn't she? Helen Housby probably guilty of stopping on the take.
Yep. And Weston's so good at that closing speed and taking it on. And to think that she had just had a call as well from the umpire to then still have a crack at that ball, it's gutsy.
It's
I like
a
it.
very good call you make, Kim, because that's when you tend to see players just
Pull off.
pull off a little. Yeah, absolutely. And she's not. Oh, Grace White, can she pull it in? She can't. What a challenge, though.
She's been good for the Swifts. I love what she's brought to the front end. She's giving lots of change of direction. She's giving multiple options, and that's exactly what Bryony Aker was asking Lily Gorman-Brown to do. Let's have a look at that Harvey Norman replay. Outside arm. Just didn't quite get her hands on it in the end. But her attacking structures has been really nice. Loving what she's providing.
In her first ever game of Suncorp Super Netball, if you've just joined us, from Tumut, 19 years of age.
Other side centre though, Vixen centre, other side.
A little bit of confusion here about which side the penalty has to be taken on. Maloney finds it now. Another tip from Sarah Clow. Timu over the shot, and she comes up with the ball. Well, that's impressive defence.
Oh! And again, Jo Weston putting her body on the line. See ball, get ball. That's perfect opportunity to go and have a crack.
Covering some distance, Jo Weston in defence. Well, they can't let this margin get any further away. The New South Wales Swifts, it is their centre pass. They need to score. Here's the work from Joe Weston. 5 the difference, 2.5 minutes away from the power 5. There's your gains. And Weston and Mannix sitting at the top there. Dribbles in for Sophie Fawns. Bryony Akel, the head coach of the Swifts, out of her seat.
Yeah, wanting the attackers to flood down and get the hands over. Oh, and that was, an arm pull from Sarah Clow.
Well,
late.
Again, a long way from home though, isn't she? So an opportunity here. Kira Austin will just take the time to get into the circle. Garvin, she's setting up a screen. They didn't utilise that moment well at all.
No, there was no setup from the shooters. That could have been an easy one under the post.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 the difference, the New South Wales Swifts. Look at Paige Hadley's numbers. The miss and net points have grown every time we've showed that stat. Fawns keeps them in touch. Sophie Fawns 10 from 10 in regular time. Long ball finds Austin. Garvin. Timu again from behind. No call.
Yeah, she's certainly bringing that physical pressure in that shooting circle, much different to what Clow was providing in that goalkeeper position. Oh, she was close. That was a beautiful ball from Maloney.
Well, a couple of misses coming now from the Melbourne Vixens. Sarah Clow with the tip. The issue is not one New South Wales Swift has been on that transverse line. That's a couple of times now.
No.
Yeah, look at Sarah Clow screaming,
Yeah.
where are you? Where's my team? Where's my backup?
And the attackers are looking at setting up the next centre pass really quickly, so they're trying to get back to the line, but a non-negotiable when your defenders are working so hard and tirelessly to get it to a tip.
Do not leave that transverse line. It's the same as the mid-quarters. Do not leave the edge of the circle until the goal is scored.
Yeah.
For the difference. Under 30 seconds until the final power 5. Here's your quarter score. Bray Downer held ball.
And the Swifts going back to a one-on-one on that centre pass. You saw Maddie Turner yelling at the back line, stay on your players. It worked brilliantly.
And it was Turner's cover of Mundy that really set that up, because then it forced Kate Maloney to spin around and look at crucial conversion here for the Swifts.
Oh, spare a thought for Grace White. There she is, ball in hand, debuting. Suncorp Super Netball finds herself in a pressure cooker. Fawns. The pass off to Housby. Well,
The crowd's not happy.
No, well, interesting that they didn't go for the super shot. Centre pass to follow though. Turner, Hadley. White wants it in the pocket.
Yeah,
Dangerous ball though.
Yeah, you got to keep moving on that one. Get out of that pocket, especially with how rangy these defenders are, and they can cover space really quickly. There it is. Sophie Fawns just getting her eye in on the last one.
Makes it interesting. Sophie Fawns 3 from 6 from distance. 1 the difference. Wow, have we got another extra time game on our hands?
Gosh, that was strong from Mundy. The little 1-2 onto the top of the circle. No one was stopping her on that.
Well, who wants the ball here for the Melbourne Vixens?
Again, no Swifts on that transverse line.
Austin, got to sink it. Give them some space, she can. Kira Austin hasn't missed. Suncorp super shots, 3 from 3. There they are on your screen. Fawns. Hadley. Housby has been on fire from this distance. She cannot get herself free. Oh, this will be a long one. The step in, Helen Housby's only missed 1. Rings out.
And what a rebound from Em Mannix on that one.
Em Mannix standing up again, has been brilliant this entire season for the Melbourne Vixens. Ellis. Yes, that is Rudy Ellis out at wing defence.
Possibly the tallest wing defence to play.
I would imagine so, yep. Weston, Mundy, Austin. Garvin, oh,
Goodness.
looks to be knocked out of the hand. Those calls aren't coming, so they've got to be a lot stronger in this circle, the Melbourne Vixens.
They were playing with time. Oh, that was great by Maloney trying to keep it in. But they were playing with time on that one too. They almost needed to just go back to the line.
Plenty of time here, 2 minutes to play, or just over for the New South Wales Swifts. White has been exceptional. She's been cool, she's been calm in this moment. Oh, Fawns. Can't sink it, but they need the rebound. She gets it. Housby. Drops short again.
Maddox again with the rebound. 2 crucial rebounds in the last couple of minutes.
Stacey Marinkovic, the Australian Diamonds coach, I'm sure is watching Mannix this season with interest. Takes her time getting up. Smart. The crowd don't like it, but that is the maturity of this Melbourne Vixen side, the experience.
And they can play it around a little bit here, try and get some penalties, release the pressure, because the Swifts still have to go and have a crack at something.
Yep, still got to attack the post though. It's too long just to try and play it off. We saw the Firebirds lose a game in a very similar fashion not that long ago. Got to get to post still.
And Swifts need to go and have a crack. One fly, the other one flies. Go, go, go.
Surely they can't hold them off for another 50 seconds. No, they'll take another point here. Well, it's real pressure now on the Swifts, though. Is there enough time to score 2 super shots? Well, firstly, they've got to win the ball back. I think the Melbourne Vixens have probably got this now in the bag. Have a look at that last 10. Austin, no, chewing up the clock. Not a matter of not wanting to shoot it. Yeah, they'll take their sweet time to take this penalty, won't they? Kira Austin.
Just a little too late for the Swifts now.
Love to finish on a good note. Sophie Fawns, she can't, but a monster rebound. Clock's going to beat them. Well, it won't count. Does count for Helen Housby, but that is the game. The Melbourne Vixens keep their slate clean as they notch up win number 5 of the season, and ends up being just by the 2 points, 61-59 over the New South Wales Swifts, and put that one in the books as another classic game between these two rivals, Kim Green. With that win, one hand on the Sargeant-McKinnis Cup to the Melbourne Vixens.
Yeah, they were good tonight. Both teams at different times showing exactly what they're made of. The defence, we've spoken about it all game, but gosh, they were good. They were able to try and do different things, create different opportunities, and it was a really nice game to watch in terms of the defence. The attack, still a bit clunky at times, still having to try and figure out multiple drives, multiple options, changing the pace. So a little bit of work to be done for both, but Vixens, my goodness, coming through with the goods at the end.
Yeah, absolutely right, won't they? Let's get down to Dylan Nexipis with the player of the match.
Congratulations, Kira Austin, player of the match. 21 from 22, an excellent work rate, 2 different opponents. Must have felt good out there.
Well, it felt hard, I'll put it that way, but I think we love coming up against the Swifts. Anyone does. They're such a strong and clinical team, like I said before, and I think for us that was a really good win, away from home as well, and yeah, Mum will be happy she wanted to win on Mother's Day.
Well, there you go. You gave your mother her gift. And obviously your defensive work that you do is exceptional. That gain at the start of the last quarter really turned that tide. How much, I guess for young girls at home and young boys at home that watch, is that something that comes naturally, or you've had to put a lot of work into that space?
Yeah, lots of work. I think I like defensive drills more than attacking drills because it's something different, but I have such good teammates around me that allow me to have a crack at those balls as well. So I think we're really gelling as a defensive unit as much as we are attacking, and it was a full team effort today.
and you're obviously sitting undefeated. What does the focus become this week?
Obviously it's great that we are undefeated, but there's obviously so much stuff that we see behind the scenes that we want to work on, and we're not quite at where we want to be yet, so I think that's really exciting heading into the future rounds that we've got things to work on.
Amazing, thank you and good luck.
Thanks, Till.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you to Kira. There's the defensive superstars of the Melbourne Vixens, Weston and Mannix. And they both had big games to play today, didn't they? And they brought it. I tell you what, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm already looking forward to round 7. The Vixens will be up against the West Coast Fever. Before that, though, let's get back down to Dylan.
With me, I have Kira Austin's shooting superstar partner in Sophie Garvin. Now, Sophie, you shot 30 from 33. Strong target down there. Got quite physical in that circle. How do you combat that physicality?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky enough to come up in Sarah when we go into Diamonds Camp, so I've had many battles against her, probably behind closed doors, but I don't know, you've just got to ride it out the whole game. They are so physical, but that's what we love, and we love to see a physical game at it in the Super Netball. So I think just playing the ball around, you just got to hold your body strong, and that's what Super Netball is. It's really physical every week, no different.
And you're going from strength to strength every game. You're just slotting in beautifully with his Vixens team. How does it feel to be part of this club and the success you've had so far this season?
Yeah, I feel really grateful to come to the Vixens. Such a rich history of success as well. So to come in and slot in against, Kira Austin, Kate Maloney, Hannah Mundy, even our young guns, Zara Walters getting out there. We've got so much depth in our team and just a great group of girls. I feel like I can just rock up and be a bit of a passenger and play netball and have fun. But no, we're really enjoying it. It was a really good challenge today as well, and I think that showed a lot of character for us.
You are far from a passenger. You're an absolute superstar. Congratulations and good luck next week.
Thanks, Dill.
Dylan took the words right out of my mouth. Sophie Garvin is no passenger. Well, let's have a look at the full-time stats, Kim Green. And the one that we highlighted was the penalties at half-time. And have a look where the Swifts are sitting, 37. That is low for them.
Well, even just for both teams, you're thinking that 50 and under is a really good amount of penalties to have. So Vixens sitting on 46, Swifties 37. I wonder if they needed to go and have a crack more. If, there's that fine line of that one. But the shooting percentage of the Vixens, 90%. Wowee, that's awesome.
Well, it was the Melbourne Vixens by the 2 points here at Ken Rosewall Arena, 61 to 59.